Hi, welcome. I hope you've had a Hi, welcome or welcome back. I hope you had a holy and beautiful Christmas. This is a very important time. Hi, welcome or welcome back. I hope you've had a holy and beautiful Christmas. This is such an important time of year. So I hope you've been celebrating the Nativity of our Lord. I want to propose to you a class that is maybe if you've been eating a bit or feasting a lot, I certainly have. So, if you feel a little heavy, maybe you just want to move and stretch and get a bit softer in your body, but still be very calm and relaxed, then this is a good class for you. So I hope that you want to do this with me. And when you're ready, you'll just begin on all fours on the mat here with me. So let's move on to our hands and our knees and find that beautiful alignment, pushing the floor away, long neck and spine, finding the connection between the top of the head and our tailbone. And when you're ready, you're going to begin curving your back on your exhale. And just straightening your back or maybe slightly arching your back on your inhale. And you'll keep going like this, following your own breath, working on deepening the breath, slowing it down, getting into the body by sort of riding the breath. You can even increase the range of motion as you get a bit warmer, a bit softer. And on your next exhale, let's move the knees a bit further back. And we'll sit back onto the heels as we curve the spine. And then make sort of a wave through your spine, through your body. And you'll slightly drop your hips through and open your chest here. And then exhale, curve back. Top of the head, reaching towards the tailbone to make that curve. And then wave through nice and slow. Open up at the end. Make sure you're not swaying your lower back. And then push back. A few more, maybe 3, maybe 4 more in your own tempo, nice and soft. So as you are opening up and arching, you want to draw your navel to your spine so that you're arching in your upper back and not in your lower back. Let's do one more, but this time very slowly. Come all the way down onto the floor, laying on the front side of your body. Nice and slow. And from here, you're going to push the floor away and lift your chest ever so slightly. Now send your breath into your belly and come down. 2 more times. Nice and slow. You don't need to go so far. If you're anything like me, you've been eating maybe a little bit too much. We want to not put too much stress onto our belly. 1 more. And let's stay here for 3 breaths. Send that breath into your tummy. And 1. And come down. Now make a 90-degree position with your arm. And then try to lay onto that same side so that you get a stretch at the front of your shoulder. So I have my right arm bent, and I'm laying onto my right hip and pushing the floor away with my left hand. Okay, so if you can feel the stretch here, then you can stay here, or you can reach up and over with that left arm, and you'll just stop when you feel the stretch is getting too intense. We stay here for 5 breaths, opening up the chest. So again, not swaying the lower back, just opening up the front of the chest and arching the upper back. Two more. Find the mat again. We'll do the same thing on the other side, 90 degrees angle. And lay onto that left hip. Push the floor away. Find wherever you need to be to feel the stretch. Maybe you need to reach up and over. It's up to you. And come back to center. Catch yourself with your hands. And now we'll make our way back up to all fours. Here you come to the center of the mat again. Tuck your toes under. Now reach up through your tailbone. So really reaching up through your sit bones and your tailbone, arching up, lifting up your legs, or lifting up your pelvis rather, stretching your legs. Relax your neck, finding a triangle position. Now you can adjust your legs, but try to stay sort of narrow in your position, pushing that floor away so we're not hanging onto the shoulders. If you're not able to stretch your legs and reach down with your heels, you'll just bend your knees. That's not a problem. All right, so making that wave again, wave through the spine to come to all fours. It's going to be quite a narrow position, and then push back, reach through your sit bones, your tailbone, slowly, 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 and find that triangle again. 2 more times. Wave through. Breathe as many times as you need to, and then push back, reach out. Nice and slow and flowy and soft and all of that. Coming forward. And push back. Let's stay here. 3 breaths. Now you'll release one arm and squeeze it back and up. So you're checking your stability. Can you feel you have to draw your navel to your spine and kind of push the floor away with the remaining limbs? And place it down. Try to stay in center. Other side, lift it up behind you. And down, only 4 more. So we're kind of switching the weight from side to side, but we're trying not to. Trying to stay in the middle. That's almost impossible, but we're thinking about that. That's our intention. Last 2. And last one. Now you're going to walk your hands back to your feet, using as few steps as you can, hanging over here, and we'll walk out again. So try to start with the same hand so that you can switch later on. So I was walking back with my right arm. I'll do the left hand first now. Hang over and begin with the left again. So we don't always move back in the same way. Moving back with the right hand. And moving forward with the right hand. Last one with the left. And we'll hang over our legs now. Try to keep them straight if you can, or you'll slightly bend. Now, if this is not enough of a stretch for you, you can place your hands, palms facing up, underneath your feet. So you get a little deeper flexion of that ankle joint. We'll stay here for at least 5 deep breaths. Try to relax everything. Your upper body sort of just hinging and hanging off of your lower body. So you can really just let go of that upper body and not have any tension. Just trusting that your legs are holding you. Last breath. And now you'll bend one of your knees. If you need to release your hands, you can do so. Bend one knee and make sure that the other one is keeping straight. And you'll try to stay in the middle again and not lean over that bent knee, but you can rest your chest on it if you are flexible enough. And we'll stay here for at least 3 to 5 breaths. So again, if you have been eating and feasting, maybe exaggerating a little bit, it's really hard to not to during Christmas season. But if you have, then maybe you can feel that heaviness in your tummy. It's really good to send your breath into there and maybe even allow your tummy to rest on your thighs when you are in these positions. It can be a bit uncomfortable when we are upside down also, so just keep that in mind. Now we're going to stretch through that knee and bend the other knee and do the same thing. Try to stay in the middle, but you can lean on to that leg. So I'm leaning kind of my left side onto that left thigh. Alright, let's stretch both the legs. Release the hands if you've tucked them under. Give yourself a little circle, a little twirl of those wrists. And we're going to find a wide position, so an a la seconde position on the mat. Still upside down. If you need to come up for air, you can. Alright, so just shake your hips a bit so you can loosen up. And we'll actually stay here in the middle. Now you can let your arms just hang like so, or you can place them on your hip. Okay, make sure. Oh, hi. So this is Elisa. She really likes to follow along when when I'm stretching, working out, especially if it's a kind of a gentle class, because she's a pretty lazy cat. And she enjoys the soft and gentle classes. Now you'll move over to one leg, and you'll just grab a hold of that leg and try to get your upper body over there. So try to stay sort of squared and in the center with your hips, so you're not reaching through your hip and kind of I don't know what it's called in English, but when you're kind of leaning onto one hip, you're trying to stay leveled, just pushing your upper body over to one side. And breathe as deeply as you can, 3 times. Now, just a tip, if you have a stuffy nose, I'm sure you can hear mine. If you keep breathing through your nose, you kind of keep insisting as you are maybe in triangle pose or you're upside down like this. Let's switch sides to the other side. If you just keep insisting on breathing through your nose, it's actually just going to clear up on its own, unless you are really sick and you're having like it's more of an actual cold, then maybe not. But if it's more just a little bit of allergy or just a bit stuffy, then you can do that and it's going to just clear up on its own. All right, good job. Let's come to center again. Shake those hips and find a more narrow position. And we're going to squat down, all the way down. All right, pussycat, you have to move. Okay, make sure you don't get dizzy. And you can use like really open up your chest, and you can use your elbows to push your knees out to the side. So if you're not as open in your hips as I am, or maybe you're not able to get your heels down to the floor, you can stay up here, maybe place something underneath. I know it's a bit heavy to stand there if that's the case. You just have to try to adjust, and slowly with time and practice, you'll get there and it's going to be more comfortable. So again, we send the breath into the belly and really try to expand in our pelvis. You get softer and deeper into the body. All right, good job. Let's sit back onto our sit bones and move on to our leg section on the mat. So you'll bring one of your legs. So this is my right leg. I'll bring it on top or place it on top of my left leg. If this is too much for you, you can keep it in front of it, but you want to make sure that you have a sort of a square in front of you right now. You're not keeping your heels too close to your pelvis. All right, let's just soften up a little bit here. Just push those knees a bit away. And when you feel ready for it, you're going to lay over or fold over your legs. So keeping a straight spine for as long as you can. And when you're not able to anymore, you can drop your head and kind of relax over your legs. Excuse me with my stuffy nose. I'm having a sort of an allergic reaction to, because I'm visiting. And the detergent that they use for the towels, I think I'm allergic to. So when wash my face and I dry my face with a towel, I get my eyes start watering, and they kind of do throughout the day. So I guess I'm having that kind of thing happening right now. So I hope you can excuse me, that it's not too distracting. We'll stay here for about 15 more seconds. Now, without coming up, you'll just move yourself over to the side towards the knee that is at the bottom. So for me, that's the left side. And you're going to reach that opposite arm a little bit in front of you. So just stretching it out. So you'll feel a stretch on your, if you are on the same side as me, on your right side, the right side of your body, from your fingertips all the way to your right sit bone. 2 more breaths here. Last one. And come back to center. Coming up. And just release and shake off. Now extend your right leg to the corner of your mat. And then turn your body towards that leg. So you want to make sure that you're sitting nice and tall, your hips are squared, and from here, nice long spine, just fold over like so. So hinging over. And we'll just stay here for about 30 seconds again, just moving kind of up and forward in space rather than down and over. So this can be quite intense for the leg on the back side there. And even try to push the back of your knee into the floor. And if you're shaking, then that's good. Just means that you are working really hard. Just a little bit longer here. And then try to just relax over. So if you are very flexible, you can sort of rest your tummy onto that leg. And again, if you've been eating a lot, then you can use this as sort of a digestive help, compressing the tummy. Now we'll slowly make our way up, but we'll bring that extended leg with us. So you want to grab a hold of it and bring it up if you can. Now you can catch yourself at the back here if you need to. And you'll just bring it as close to your chest as you can. And you can maybe massage your shin a little bit or make some circles with that foot. But try to really reach out of your chest and stay nice and long. And I know it's hard. It's a lot of things to think about. Balancing, holding the leg, trying to get it closer, and stretching your spine. It's a lot. But we stay here for a little longer. Maybe 5, 4. Push it a little bit closer. 3, 2, 1. Now gently place it down. Come to the center here with your upper body. And we'll just reach up and over to the sides, doing a little side bend here. So you want to make sure that you are really grounding yourself through that left sit bone now, so you're not giving up the sit bone. So it's more than a stretch on the leg, it's actually more of a side stretch to the side of your body. A little bit of both. And let's push ourselves up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So left leg on top of the right leg. Make sure you're squaring off your hips. We begin by just pushing the knees a bit away, just to kind of make some room and prepare for some intense stretching. And then with a straight spine, try to fold over. So we keep that spine nice and straight for as long as we can, reaching out through the sit bones. When you're not able to go any further, then you'll kind of curve and relax over. And you send the breath into your hips. It's always helpful to sort of visualize the breath going into the area that you are stretching. So you can visualize the breath moving into that muscle and then expanding it from the inside. So what I kind of think about when I am stretching, or that was a strange way to put it, but something that I can visualize is sort of the same idea as if, when you have a balloon, the first time you're going to try to blow air into it and make it into a balloon full of air, it's going to be really hard and it's very stiff. The material. The words are escaping me. But let's reach over to the right side so I don't get lost in my talking, and reach through that left arm now. All right, so when you blow air into a balloon the first time, it's going to be very stiff and hard, and it's really hard to blow the air in. But when you've done it the first time, it expands. You blow a lot of air into it, the balloon grows. And if you let the air out now, the balloon afterward, the fabric or the material is much softer. So that's the idea, or that's in a way, not really, but in a way, what happens to your muscle. That's kind of what you can think about. So that's how you want to use your breath. You're breathing into that balloon, and the balloon is your muscle. And you're expanding it from the inside, and that is going to soften it. All right, let's come to center. And up here, and then just release at the back. Give yourself a little rock. Extend your left leg to the corner of the mat and turn your body towards that leg, straight spine. And you're going to reach up through the top of your head to a diagonal as long as you can, or as far as you can. And hold here. Push the back of your knee into the floor. Try to flex your foot. I know it's hard. This is probably my least favorite thing to stretch. It's the back of my legs. It can be quite uncomfortable, especially if you haven't been doing it for a little bit, or you're just feeling a bit stiff. On your next exhale, relax over. And very gently, you'll come up, but you'll bring that leg with you, if you can. And try to push it or pull it as close to your chest as you can. Make some circles if you need to. Maybe you want to massage your shin, just to loosen up a little bit here. And of course, catch yourself if you feel like you're tipping over. I'll just stay for a few more seconds. I'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And gently let it down and come to center here. And we'll close off this little section with a side bend. All right, let's push up. And let's just turn towards that right knee. Coming all the way over here. Make a wide V with your hands. And you're going to make a wave going down over your knee. And then wave up through your spine. And just 4 more times going down nice and slow. And push up. And just let your breath move really slowly and deeply through your body as you do so. So you're taking this time to sort of soften that front of your hip flexor and the outside of your right hip and thigh. 1 more. And now if you can, come down onto your elbows. And if you're not feeling much here, then you can go all the way down, just resting your cheek onto your hands. And we'll stay here for 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. So you can come all the way down here. And just relax. Let your breath make you heavy and sort of melt into the floor. Just rest onto the floor. And the floor is just supporting you. You don't need to do anything. You don't even need to really keep the shape if your legs are sort of moving a little bit as they soften. It's okay when we're stretching really deep and when we're holding each pose for this long, then it's okay to kind of release and let go. Now you'll begin pushing yourself up, back up to seated. And if you want to, you'll bend that back leg. And if you can, you'll reach back and grab a hold of that foot. So you'll feel a deeper stretch at the front of your hip flexor, or in your hip flexor at the front of your thigh. And now you can go further with this. You can push that foot closer to your body, maybe even hook the inside of your elbow like so. Or you just stop where you feel where you feel like you've had enough. So just showing you some progressions. You can even reach that front arm up and over behind your head and clasp your hands here. Just make sure that you're straightening your back. So there's a lot of different ways we can approach some of these stretches. Or you can even just focus all of your attention on getting that leg further down. All right, let's release, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So just drop your weight back. Give yourself a little shake in between. We hold these positions for so long. It's nice to just release some of that build up attention, I would say. Some of that focus. Just take some time to find the position, and you'll find a wide V with your arms, and begin making those waves going down nice and slow and waving up. 4 more. Down and up, and just let the breath move. Just like the waves in the ocean move through you. And last one, and make your way down. Your elbows maybe. And maybe all the way down. Resting your chin on your hands, or your cheek rather. And stay for about a minute, half a minute. Dropping your way into the mat. Trusting that the mat and the floor is supporting you. You can just let yourself kind of run and expand and just lay there. Now slowly push yourself up to seated. Bend the back leg. Reach back if you want to. Grab a hold. Maybe hook it. Maybe if you feel like it, reach up and clasp. So for me today, I actually feel like I'm pretty stiff in my legs. So I would rather work on that hip flexor and the front of the thigh. It's really bothering me lately, or pretty stiff there. Now you can release and just release back. Give yourself a little shake. And this time we'll lay down onto our back. So you can just lay onto the side first. And bring that same knee over to your chest. Just adjust so you're actually laying on the mat. And I'm sure, yeah, I knew it. The cat was going to come. And just work on getting that knee nice and close to your chest. And as I mentioned earlier, we get sort of a compression in our tummy, and you can use that if you've been eating a little bit, or if you just need a little help with your digestion. That's always a really healthy way to do. It's healthy to do some exercises for bettering your digestion anyway, even if you don't feel like you have problems with it, because we tend to be kind of stressed and hold on to things as kind of modern people. Very common. And we'll just switch the knees, bringing the other one to the chest and just pushing it to the chest. He just loves to stretch. And just hang out when we're stretching on the mat. Now bring both your knees to the chest, and you're going to grab onto the outside of your feet, like so. And then you think you're going to kind of imagine your knees moving towards the floor. So you're really opening up your hip, but you're also opening up the chest, pushing the back of the head into the floor. And from here, you lift your feet towards the ceiling. So don't let your tailbone come off the floor. Have a long neck and spine. You're pushing your back into the floor. Two more breaths. Last one. Now extend your left leg onto the floor and grab your right knee. You're going to move it across your body. I don't want to hurt the cat. Cross your body and just twist through. Extend the opposite arm along the floor. And just 3 breaths here. And 2. Last one. One more there. Come on to that side and just grab your shin and push it back. Make sure that you can keep your balance. Maybe you want to bend the knee that is underneath you. Just a quick stretch on the front here. And release. You're going to push yourself up to seated. Nice and slow. Swing your legs and we'll lay down onto the other side. And now bring your left knee to the chest and twist to the side or twist across. Two more breaths. Last one. And roll over to the side. Bend your knees. Grab a hold of your shin and just push it back. Little stretch on the front here. Now for the last thing we're going to do, lay on to your tummy again. And we're going to lift ourselves up by pushing the floor And sit all the way back onto our knees again as we did in the beginning. So let's just do that 2 more times. We wave through the spine, and this time we come all the way down to the floor. Make sure that you're not arching through your lower back. Nice and slow, and then lift up your chest. Reach, 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 come up, and then tuck under and push back. One more time. Wave through the body. And come down by bending your elbows. Lift your chest. Push the floor, tuck your belly. And sit all the way back. Now you're going to spread your legs. And we're going to just stay here for 5 deep breaths. So nice and soft. If you want to, you can push your weight a bit forward so you really get a stretch on the inside of those hips. So we have about 3 more breaths. I hope you've been enjoying this class. I hope that you'll enjoy the rest of your Christmas and winter vacation. So you can stay here on the floor for as long as you want. And I'll say goodbye to you now, and I hope to see you here next week for a new class. Bless you, and ciao.